Well, good day, and welcome to the webinar where we'll discuss how Pelco delivers solutions to address restricted access challenges. My name is Stuart Rawling. I'm the Vice President of Technology and Customer Engagement here at Pelco. According to the Healthcare Finance News, about $164 million in lost drugs happens per year. This exposes the truth that healthcare facilities are open to the public, they're open to anybody by their very nature, and therefore are highly exposed to potential theft from internal and external people. Hospitals and health systems in general, they do admit that they require more monitoring, and they have a great need to manage the movement of people and where they can go, which specific areas of the hospitals or facilities they can reach. And if they can do that, it can help decrease theft. There are three very common challenges that we see when we talk about how facilities restrict access. The first of which is, how do they manage blind spots or areas covered with poor quality video? Any area that requires restricted access needs that full awareness of all of the different areas of this facility, and they need to have that visibility and the control of those critical areas. And they need to have that high quality forensic footage, even in difficult lighting conditions, to detect and then identify threats so that they can build quickly very high quality investigations. If you look at these facilities that are involved in management of access, you quite often find that there's different entities with different systems exposed, access control versus video versus perimeter control. There's all of these elements that make up a security system are required to work very well together. So collaboration and integration these days is absolutely critical. This multi-layered security strategy really helps augment and support any personnel or any operators so that they can provide effectively engagement with real-time monitoring and, when needed, forensic investigations as well. Now, throughout many facilities, there are often specific guidelines, specific regulations that really stipulate how the security procedures should be executed. And it's really important to be able to ensure compliance with those regulations and processes, and to be able to do things like providing visual verification of events that get detected and things like that. This compliance piece is one of the most critical elements of any facility plan. Now, we talked about healthcare and hospitals as a need earlier on, and let's build on that. Facilities that contain valuable supplies and equipment like a hospital, the equipment can be costing millions of dollars. Even the small items can be cost thousands of dollars. We need to protect those assets, and Pelco's video surveillance solutions are designed to help in these situations. They can increase safety, they can help reduce crime, and increase the protection against things like vandalism by providing that proactive monitoring. The management of theft prevention and the management of oversight of life-saving equipment. The wide camera portfolio that Pelco has really focuses the operators on being able to see what's going on in those facilities. Even in darkened corridors, even in areas where there's a very wide lighting situation, we have the cameras that can be provided that, for the right application, that really increase the visibility, therefore the detection rate, and therefore allow for a really good proactive response plans to be developed. So we have our different camera types. We have our fixed cameras that can be pointed at the right areas, like an entrance or something like that. But we also have our PTZ cameras that can be used to track and monitor a wide variety of areas, coupled with our panoramic cameras that can see in a 360 view or 180 view, or even a 180 view with a look down, which what we call our 270 view. These panoramic cameras provide high levels of detail with great wide dynamic range performance, which basically means you can see the light and the dark areas, and you get to cover the facility completely, so you're not going to miss an incident. If we carry on down the line, we also have things like the high security corner mount cameras that can be anti-vandal proof and help against anti-ligature situations like in a prison environment or in a protected patient environment. And if we move all of those cameras into our video management systems and we combine them with video analytics, we provide the capability to help operators really manage the facility in a much more beneficial way and a much more efficient way than ever before. Protecting the assets that are in utilities and energy is becoming a ever-increasing requirement. Our national assets in the oil and gas space or in the electricity space, this critical infrastructure that we have has really come to the forefront in the last few years. These are mission and daily critical areas of all of our lives. And the security of these facilities is of paramount importance to the daily operation and the health of the nations that are running these systems. One of the largest things that we have to work on when we're working in this sector is thinking about the perimeter security. With a wide perimeter, on-site personnel need to monitor a very wide area. So using the technologies that Pelco has, like the Esprit Enhanced, coupled with video analytics, coupled with other integrations with perimeter detection, for example, can really help drive an increased awareness of what's going on in that perimeter. If a camera can tell you that somebody's approaching the fence of the perimeter versus just having somebody sat there reactively monitoring, can really improve things. Now, quite often in our oil and gas specifically, we have a situation where the facility is a highly dangerous environment. There is petrochemical vapors, petrochemical liquids around the facility. And one of the things that Pelco is extremely well known for is the ability to provide cameras that are able to meet that extremely toxic and explosive environment through our explosion-proof line of cameras and enclosures. These cameras are basically, they get certified so that they will not be the cause of any spark or any incident that could cause an ignition situation in a facility. In addition, we also have a thermal camera range which allows for a better view of the situation that's going on in a scenario where the visible light may not be the most optimal situation. For example, in fog or in a long distance where you're kind of trying to find something in a hidden area, like through foliage or through a situation which visible light is not allowing the human operator or the analytics to pick it up. Thermal cameras are perfect for this situation. They can be used to augment or replace in some circumstances the performance of visible light cameras. All of these technologies are combined with the video analytics and with the capabilities that new intelligence that we're dealing with on a daily basis is bringing to the equation, and allows the camera technologies to be leveraged and pushed into a higher level that allows the operators to really sustain a good situational awareness of what's going on in their facilities. Governments are not only tasked with providing services and protecting us as citizens, but also, protecting those national assets, those monuments, those government facilities, those military bases. And, they require solutions that are very compliant with the national regulations that may exist. Those regulations could be to do with sourcing of equipment, they could be to do with cybersecurity, they could be to do with the operational manuals that people should be using. And so, on a wide variety of basis, the way that the government projects are deployed and ran can vary from nation to nation. But Pelco's got a very proud history of being able to work within all of those regulations, be able to leverage the technologies to provide solutions for those regulations, and in many cases provide the best-in-class solution for the application. Pelco's imaging technology in particular has been the leading edge of how we've managed to secure many government contracts in the world since we started in this industry more than 40 years ago. A range of cameras that meet the regulations, which include things like NDAA. We comply with regulations overseas like CERA in the Middle East. We have a country of origin certification as well, so that you know where the cameras are coming from. We are very proud of the fact that we have all of our camera lines NDAA compliant, and will continue to do so. That is our very verbal and loud commitment. Our video solutions in general are designed to meet all of our customers' needs, specifically around regulations and processes. And when you look at a government facility, a few of the things that pop to mind if you think about entrance and exit, ingress and egress scenarios like tailgating, things like that. That's the type of thing where we couple our cameras with those, again, those video analytics that we have, and we're able to really show the value of intelligence at the edge and be able to detect the tailgating and present that information to the facility operator so they can take the necessary action. In some circumstances, the action could even be automated. For example, if a tailgating is detected, maybe the next checkpoint there is a door that is no longer accessible through the access control system. These types of capabilities are only possible when you have the open application architecture that Pelco builds on, its ONVIS compliance, and its ability to work with third-party vendors of different solutions. That's something that Pelco's got a proud history on, and something we'll continue to really focus on in the future. I've mentioned earlier that we have best-in-class imaging technologies, and I wanted to take a moment to really focus on just a few of the lines that we have to offer here. The Spectra Enhance 7 is a new camera in 2020, from 2 to 8 megapixels, so it has all of the different capabilities from a resolution perspective that you would expect. But I think there are a couple of things I want to call out here is the fact that we've taken our SureVision technology, and I'll mention SureVision in a few minutes, which is our wide dynamic range, our low light capability, and we've added some massive improvements to that, and we've applied it into our PTZ dome camera. This camera can be moved from a light area to a dark area, and the optics adjust to provide the best in class that you can see from this type of camera. The other new capability that we've added in this generation is our frameless direct drive motor technology. This allows for a monumental leap in the reliability and the sustainability of these cameras versus a belt and pulley system or belt and drive system that was in there before. The ability for us to increase the reliability of the cameras is something we're always looking to offer our customers. Our Optera multi-sensor camera is what I meant, one of the ones I mentioned earlier, and we talked about this 180, 270, 360 view. The key difference in this class of camera is its ability to stitch in the camera. Optera has the ability to take all of those sensors and to make them like a virtual pan tilt zoom camera, so that it's recording in all directions at once. So you can zoom in and move the view that you're seeing, whether you're doing that in live, or this is the game changer, whether you're doing that in recording as well. The ability for us to record everywhere and then to be able to view and zoom in on the recording side is what makes Optera such a valuable asset in the arsenal of video surveillance that Pelco offers. Now our very famous Esprit camera has been iterated on and improved. We're still working on our ability to provide this class of camera for the long term. We know it's an extremely popular line. We continue to evolve it. We've obviously got our world-class wide dynamic range performance in this, and this is a really good option for those people that require that additional illumination, because we have special versions of this camera that have that onboard illumination for those environments that have poor lighting conditions. I also knew this year, and towards the end of last, we had our thermal Esprit and our Sarix thermal imaging camera as well. These cameras, as I mentioned in our conversation about perimeter security, are very good at being able to augment or even supplement and replace the scenarios where visible light just isn't enough. Having that VGA and quarter VGA resolution is sufficient for us to run really high quality analytics. It's our ability to provide the best-in-class solution when combined with some of the other imaging technologies that we have. All of these are available, and all of these have a specific area that they can be applied to, and we're very happy to work with you to help you understand how to apply these products to your product. As megapixels have increased, as storage requirements have gone up, one of the things that we've been really working hard at Pelco is making sure that we're providing the optimum value as we go up that ramp of increased megapixel and storage requirements. Our smart compression technology is one of those tools in our toolbox that we can provide our end users to allow them to manage their compression and to manage their storage issues that come with the higher megapixels. And what this does, it looks at the motion that's happening in a scene. It determines where there's a need for encoding to be done, where there's not need, and makes intelligent decisions about what's important in the scene, and focuses its encoding and its optimizations around that. And doing it this way, it can lower your bandwidth and storage requirements by up to 70%. It's a substantial optimization of the technology in place. And so if you have a camera that has this technology on it, and all of our cameras have this technology on it, and you haven't turned it on, and you're worrying about storage retention, or you want to increase retention, there's a very easy way to get optimization. Work with your product support crew at Pelco to figure out what's best for you. We'll be happy to have these conversations, and you're able to potentially reduce your storage cost while keeping the same quality of video, which ultimately is a win for everybody. One of the great technologies that Pelco offers is what we call Pelco Camera Link. This is a very cool technology where we basically link one of our Optera cameras to one of our Spectra PTZ cameras. Now, if you recall, the Optera is a 360, 270, or 180 multi-sensor imaging platform that seamlessly stitches the images together. With built-in analytics, we're able to look at where something is. And we're able to take that information and pair it with a PTZ camera so that the PTZ camera can zoom in and automatically track whatever we're chasing. So if you imagine a scenario when you've got somebody approaching a perimeter, the subject of interest, that camera can automatically send the necessary commands to a pan tilt zoom camera to zoom in all the way along the perimeter line and to start to follow that subject of interest and record all of that high detailed information that comes from that PTZ camera. This is a really exciting and game-changing technology that Pelco has developed in-house. And this is able to be ran with just the two cameras. It could also be hooked up to any VMS, and you can still have this capability running in the background too. Pelco has been known throughout the years for its high level of performance when it comes to image quality. Specifically, different lighting conditions like darks and lights in the same scene. I think we all know that wide dynamic range is this technology term that basically means the camera performs more like the human eye. That it can, when you're looking at the scene, if there's a really bright area and a really dark area, it kind of evens it out so you can kind of see both at the same time. It also manages things like anti-bloom capabilities. So if somebody shines a flashlight at a camera, then it doesn't necessarily blow out the rest of the image. That's also useful for outdoor applications, like in a traffic situation, we've got headlights coming towards you. The other technology that is built into SureVision is really about how you can see color images at extremely low light conditions, at extremely low lux. Pelco has always had a wonderful optics team, and they continue to do quite amazing performance optimizations to our imaging pipes. This ability to see in a color image where other cameras would have already switched to an IR filter, say you've gone into a black and white mode. It makes it really important, especially if you're in a situation where you're trying to identify or you're trying to capture details about a subject of interest, for example, what color jacket were they wearing, or something like that. If you've got that camera footage, it's performing in extremely low light conditions, and you can pick the color out, versus when an IR shutter is kicked in, you may not be able to pick out the color. You will not be able to pick out the color because it's in black and white mode. So SureVision is one of those key technologies that we continue to evolve, and are so excited to add new capabilities to year on, year out. Pelco offers the broadest selection of IP cameras for security surveillance, and we're very proud to apply this technologies at in commercial, industrial, and other activities and other scenarios as well. We're able to provide that complete situational awareness. We're able to integrate all of our products with video analytics that allow automation to occur. And we're also very proud to have cameras built on an open architecture that allows our cameras and our products to work well with other vendors and other solutions across the security industry. Why choose Pelco? We've got a whole stack of technologies that we can help provide for high performance. Through the camera link we've talked about, through the new drive technology, through the edge analytics, through that immersive views, the smart compression we've talked about, the client-side dewarping, and all of that low-light performance technologies that we've got. On top of that, through our leadership in the ONVIF organization, through our leadership in the standardization that goes on in the industry, we're able to say that our cameras are among the most open in the industry. We work with many different BMS vendors, and we're able to provide high-level support for our customers and our technology partners in order to provide that open BMS agnostic approach. Pelco is world-renowned for having a high level of service and support, but that's when it's needed. Our cameras are also renowned for being very reliable, and our quality is of paramount importance to us because that's how we build trust with our end users. And we're secure. We've got a very strong cybersecurity team. We focus on being compliant with all of the necessary regulations around the world. We're focused on being open, which I think is probably the most critical component of being secure, is being honest and open about the issues that we find and about the steps that we're taking as a company to ensure that you or our customers are able to have confidence in the security of the products that you're buying. All of these things combined, I think, are very compelling reasons why Pelco should be a choice for a lot of our customers. If you're new to Pelco, you may not have realized that we've been operating for over 63 years. We have lots of partners around the world. We have lots of service centers. We have multiple solutions, and we have employees in offices all over the world. We're a good, strong brand in the industry with a very unique history, covering really 3 generations of employees. And we have people here that have been working here for a long time that know the industry and know the situation. We recently got acquired by Motorola, and Motorola has been a real blessing to the company because they see the value. That's why they bought Pelco, and they've been really helping us invest in the right areas to continue to be the provider with the best-in-class camera solutions. I want to thank you for your time today. I know we've gone over quite a bit of information. If you ever want to engage with us, please reach out to your sales representative or contact us on social media, and we'll be glad to answer questions.